Hey guys, welcome to Meet the Fighter. Today we have Glock to join us. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm good. So what is the thing you enjoy the most in your deck or playstyle right now?
My current deck, I think the thing I like about it the most is it's scary to block against. It really gets in your mind because of the placement of the guard breaks. It makes it a lot of fun to just scare people, make them do things that they don't want to do because the moves that they're afraid of are reactable, and therefore makes them think, oh, I could do this or do that. In reality, it's fake. It's not real.
Tell us more about your deck. How does it work?
So my deck, it's my like insane play style, just 50-50s. Everything is really just, this or that. So I have these two guard breaks here, one just for the audio cue and the visual cue to kind of like scare people into reacting to it. But also just for the extra pressure, because as you can see, the rest of the moves are pretty much just mediums outside of these two heavier hits right here. But it's very devastating because it's in your face, and I have this loop right here for Megarian hour kick to kind of condition people into doing what I want them to do, and I have the 1-inch punch to mix them up, which confirms in the switch kick. And it's just a pretty simple pressure deck. It's all pressure. It's scare tactic. It's effective.
So how do you like to play it?
I like to play it like in your face, right? I'm very defensive in my play style, so I'm really good at reading opponents when they want to press buttons, what they might do, how they might mix me. I kind of try to play ahead of time, so I like to stay in people's faces and make them believe that they can take their turn back when they can't. So for example, like when I throw like 1-inch punch, a lot of people want to press on that because they know that they can. So my response to that will just be to just keep using outward kick until they start getting used to it, right? But again, staying in their face, I really only truly disengage with this deck whenever I need stamina back, or if I want to bait them into pressing a button to unlock into defensive. But overall, yeah, I'm in your face. It's toe to toe. It's rush down. It's aggressive. It's brawling, and that's the way that I keep it. It stays on top of your stamina. Your stamina is going to get drained if you block too much. But it's hard to read it because, again, it's a lot of 50-50s going on through it, and it's built pretty unorthodox. So I like it. So yeah, I just stay in people's faces, mix them up, and it's great.
And how do you play against different styles?
Yeah, so if I was fighting a stagger, I would, again, staying in their face, I would kind of more allow them to rely on their defensive a little bit. So they'll probably like, sidestep. So, you'll obviously throw the guard break, you will duck because they're going to try to sidestep again. That's why I have those guard breaks there. It's just so the audio cue will get them off their guard and force them to open up. If they try to press a button, I might get punished a few times, but then again, of course, you'll just adapt to it. So you will feint, use your defensive, right? If you're fighting against a Forsaken, it's kind of like timing, throwing them off, or the 50-50s again, kind of throwing them off. So you could just kind of like use this loop right here, get them used to hearing these sounds and this left and right movement, then boom, just throw the 1-inch punch. They parry too early if they're not expecting it, then you get your confirm off of it. It's great. Windfalls actually do better fighting this deck from my experience than any other class does, because the fact that there's a lot of highs in this deck, and the reactables, they don't really scare Windfalls as much. Like I remember I fought Gazer with this deck, and he was able to call out my feints. So he would like hear this guard break, he wouldn't even move, and he would wait until I throw the mix up, and then he'll duck it. But I would still just have to take it slow with them. I play a little bit more patiently versus Windfalls, but cults, I just kind of like run over cults. I don't even feint really against them. I let them absorb, and I just avoid their opener and just keep running the deck as it is. There's really no strategy for cults with me. I just press the buttons and they die.
And Phajin.
Oh, Phajin. Phajin is my counterplay. I suffer against Phajin just like my mentality alone. So like if I'm fighting a Phajin, I would just kind of like I would let them do their thing, right? Like with a Phajin, for me anyway, in my experience, I let them take over, and I just kind of watch how they play, and I just adapt as they make moves. I try to use timing to throw them off, of course, again. So again, I have like 1-inch punch, or you can do outward kick, or even like with the PBK, you can do crouching PBK or crouching Yura. And so I would just try to like use the pressure to scare them, and then throw the slower attack so they parry too early, and then punish them that way. But if they adapt to it, then I have to kind of slow it down and see what they found out. So I'll play into their game a little bit to see what they know, and then I'll switch it up again. And if they adapt to that, then I'll adapt to their adaptation and just keep playing that game. But I kind of let them take over.
And is there something you're trying to improve?
Something I'm trying to improve? Not being a dumbass. That's pretty much my thing. I make a lot of mistakes as far as just like my playstyle goes. A lot of it really is just me really just having a lot more fun with the game than I am trying to be a competitive player. I've never really cared too much about being respected as a good player, but more of just a good fight. So I try to build decks that aren't really always safe. It doesn't bother me to have unsafety. It doesn't bother me to play against the meta. It doesn't bother me to do any of these things. So when I come into trials, oftentimes I'm just looking for a good time, and I need to improve on whenever I'm on my autopilot or I'm having fun, to just kind of keep my same momentum as I do when I'm being more competitive. Because I don't really get competitive unless someone like tries to call me out, like, "Oh, you suck," and it's like, "Oh, I suck, you suck." You know what I mean? And then we fight for real. But other than that, I'm just on autopilot. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm on autopilot.
So let's do some fights to see it in action.
Great, I will fight. I will. Let's do stuff.